What's going on, guys? So in front of you, you were looking at a $100,000 truck. Not kidding you. This is the 2025 Ram 2500 heavy-duty truck in a limited Longhorn package. This is the loaded package. This is just about every feature you could conceivably get in a Ram heavy-duty truck. It looks absolutely beautiful. I can tell you the front headlight, that entire assembly has absolutely grown on me. But today, we're going to take a look at the window sticker on this truck and show you what you get for $100,595. Hang tight. I'll be right back. So we're going to go through this window sticker specifically to see what you get at this price point. The base price of this type of truck is $76,095, but there's a lot of features that have been added, such as the Longhorn Level 1 equipment group, the Tow Technology Plus group, the 6.7-liter Cummins high-output diesel engine, as well as the clearance lights, the auto-leveling air suspension, so this has rear air suspension, the 2,400 watt onboard power system, the dual alternators rated at 480 amps, as well as the transfer case skid plate shield. So this truck is really loaded with stuff. And again, I don't know if you can actually get one of these trucks with any additional features except factory installed features. This truck even has the bed cover in the back and a spray-in bed liner in it. It is also equipped with the fifth wheel gooseneck prep, which was also an add-on feature. So again, we're talking about a truck with a base price of $76,095, but a total price of $100,585 after you add all of that stuff. Let's quickly look around this truck and see what you get though for that price. Power deploying running boards. You're also going to get this absolutely gorgeous interior. I mean, this is beautiful leather. It is absolutely amazing. But if you've seen Longhorn packages before in the past, I think they were called Laramie Longhorn. Now it's the limited Longhorn. You see that this is kind of par for the course. You get this absolutely gorgeous Western themed interior, as well as kind of this copper gold tone accent trim everywhere. The Harman Kardon sound system. It's just a beautiful interior. Even where they put cloth right here and they kind of mix the cloth with the leather material, it just looks gorgeous. You also have this screen right here, which is a passenger entertainment screen. I love how that says Longhorn right there. It looks absolutely beautiful. And you can connect your phone via HDMI right there, so you can actually reproject whatever you're looking at on your screen, which is really nice. You get a 14.4-inch Uconnect screen here, which is also really nice. They've moved some of the physical buttons to the screen, something I really don't care for, but at least they've maintained the air conditioning controls around it. But it's an absolutely massive screen, and these screens are getting so large, it's actually kind of confusing to remember which one's the largest screen that I've seen, because there's some vehicles with 16-inch plus screens, there's some with 12-inch plus screens, and then you got the 14.4-inch here, as well as a full digital gauge cluster back behind there. Absolutely gorgeous. The Tow Technology package is going to include a lot of technology, such as the ability for you to back your trailer up with this control knob right here if you struggle with it a little bit, especially on the boat ramp. You also are going to have a lot of trailering features built into the system, like the ability to check your turn signals, brake lights, and all of that stuff on your trailer. So you have your trailer brake controller here as well, and your gain settings are actually on the screen. So to increase or lower your trailer brake gain, you actually do that from the screen itself. This is a four-wheel drive truck, and there's all your four-wheel drive controls. And you got tons of electronic features down here, such as the ability to wirelessly charge up to 2 phones and so many power outputs in this area. What I don't see right off the bat, doesn't mean it's not here, it just means I haven't found it yet, is a 12-volt outlet. And if they have it, might be down here. So they got a 110 down here, and that's rated for 400 watts. But I don't see a 12-volt plug in here, which is the standard, cigarette lighter style plug. This is an awesome truck, but sometimes the person reviewing it, aka myself, is a bit of a nitwit, and I forget things. So I forgot, even though I should have known this because of all the Rams I've reviewed, that even though there's no 12-volt outlet down here or one under there, there is one up here. And I mentioned in the video that it did not have one. Well, it certainly does have one, and Ram's been putting it there for a while, and I just completely forgot. It's actually a really good location for it, because if you have things like backup cameras and monitors and stuff like that, it's in a really good spot. You don't have to run a cord from down here up there. So Yep, sorry, my bad. I do make mistakes. Sometimes I forget things, and this is definitely one of those areas where I just didn't look. And part of the reason is because the screen is so tall, you can actually see that it goes up about 1 inch past the top of the line of the dash, so you just really don't see what's going on up there if you're at an angle like this, which I was. So yep, there's your 12-volt outlet, and thankfully both Ram and Ford still include them. In the back though, USB-C, USB, and a 110 outlet up to 400 watts back here. And something else I didn't show you is when you lift up the back seat, you can actually flip this out and it makes for a really nice flat platform, but they still give you the cutout for the drink holders right there. Anyways, just wanted to make this really short video, letting you all know that sometimes I forget things, and I did forget that there was a 12-volt outlet on top of the dash right behind the navigation monitor. On the door over here, you can see we have a payload capacity of 1,920 pounds. And some people might think that's low for a 3/4 ton truck, which it is kind of low for a 3/4 ton truck, but mainly because of this equipment package you're getting in here. The fact that this thing is loaded with tech, loaded with features, loaded with factory installed accessories, as well as it has the really heavy Cummins diesel engine, which is going to weigh significantly more than a gas power plant. And that's one of the reasons why you see the payload number being where it is. If this was more of a base model truck or a few steps down and it had a gas powered V8 in it, that number would probably be about 500 to 600 pounds greater in terms of payload capacity. But yeah, whenever you buy luxury trim vehicles with diesel engines, you typically are going to lose some of that payload capacity. Quickly flipping over the fuel fill here, you'll see that you have your DEF fill right next to your diesel fuel fill. Under the back, you can see the air suspension. There's no coil sprung or leaf sprung suspension on this truck. It's a multi-link air suspension system, which provides a lot of cool features, including load leveling, as well as some pretty creative ones. So inside of the truck, you have a few soft buttons on the screen. One of those buttons actually gives you the ability to lower the back end of the truck into a squat mode, so it's easier to access the bed of your vehicle. It basically dumps all the air out of the airbags, and it will drop the back here like 4 inches. It drops it a good amount, which makes it a lot easier to get things loaded in the bed as well as out of the bed. You also have an alternative trailer height feature, which you press that button and it will actually drop the suspension down a few inches so you can hitch up to it easier, and then you press the button and it levels the load back out. That is definitely one that we're going to be evaluating and taking a look at as well. In the back here, you have a nice little step to help you access the bed of the vehicle, which is nice. So whenever you pop the tailgate down with the soft opening tailgate, that's really the only feature the tailgate itself has. You can step right here to get into the bed of your truck, which is actually a really convenient way of accessing the bed of your truck without having to do anything special to your tailgate. So this is something they've been doing for a while. And the cool thing is there's aftermarket companies that make all sorts of different types of steps you can put in different areas. But this does extend off the back in a way that makes it really easy to access the bed of your vehicle. Then you can see you have a spray and bed liner. This already comes equipped with the 5th wheel gooseneck prep package. The spacing of it is much wider than you would typically see on like Ford or GM vehicles, but it definitely has a wider stance, mainly because the frame rails on this truck are a little wider than you might see on those vehicles. Then up here you have your connections for your 7-way for a trailer if you have the gooseneck in here, or 5th wheel, which don't really recommend towing a 5th wheel on this just because of the relatively low payload capacity. Your camera connections, as well as your 2,400 watt power supply back here to be able to charge stuff up and power things. You have some nice cleats that are already mounted in place, plus LED bed lighting. And then we also have the factory installed tonneau cover over the back, which is really nice. The tailgate is not electronic in terms of going up, and that's not a feature you can get on the heavy duty truck, nor can you get the split gate on the heavy duty truck, but it is assisted by its torsion spring in it. It's a very, very easy tailgate to open and close. You got more of your camera connections here, 7-way connection here, no 4-way connection though, so you can't plug your lighter trailers directly in without an adapter. 2.5-inch receiver right here, which is the largest receiver you can get on a Ram truck, but it's still rated at an incredible amount that you're probably never going to exceed. Front and rear parking sensors also. You have your LED light up there, which is a really nice light, plus you have 2 cameras up there, one that points down at the bed and one straight out the back for your rear view mirror digital camera, which is really nice. You also, on the mirrors here, have cameras as well as cameras underneath here and spotlights on the back of the mirror. So you have a ton of cameras on this truck, and what they do is they give you a much better perspective of things whenever they're on. For instance, with Ford and General Motors, they tend to use the bottom camera right here to see down the side whenever you're turning, but because Ram puts a camera right here, it actually gives you far better, clearer visibility down both sides of the truck whenever you're towing something. Under the hood, we have our high output 6.7 liter Cummins engine, which is the only diesel engine option you now have for Ram trucks, which means you don't have to pick between a lower horsepower, lower torque version. This is the engine you get, which is actually really nice, and it's going to speak to a lot of people in a positive way who don't want to feel like they got the lower power engine because they couldn't pay more for the higher power version. So it's nice that they went to a single power plant. Produces 430 horsepower and 1,075 pound-feet of torque. So this thing is a very, very powerful Cummins engine, and that Cummins name, of course, is going to be synonymous with quality and reliability. Plus, they have modified the fuel pump in this truck, so it is a more reliable fuel pump system. Also, the new transmission that you get with this truck is called a Torque Flight HD 8-speed automatic transmission. So it does things a little bit different in terms of gearing. Basically, it's designed so you have this super granny low gear to get you off the line, gets you a tremendous amount of torque, and then it moves more into efficiency mode, where as you accelerate, it gives you some really efficient gear, so you get better fuel economy, better acceleration, better performance overall. Beautiful LED lights up front as well, all LED. Every light on this truck is LED. That's not totally new. They've been doing that for a while on their higher end trims. But your top lights are reflector style and your bottom lights are a projector style light, plus your fog lights down here. I know a lot of people look at this headlight setup and they're like, that's really bold, that double stacked look. But I think it looks really good. And if you looked at the previous generation, there's actually some similarities there. All they basically did though is put this chrome piece in between and raised it up a little bit. But you do have a huge grille up front, and you do have a huge hood bump to it. So looking over the hood might be a little problematic for some folks if you've been in like a Ford Super Duty where the hood actually slopes in a little bit towards the center. I know we looked at the rear air suspension, but the front suspension is traditional coil sprung suspension. And inside the truck, now that we have it powered up, again, digital display back here, 14.4-inch screen over here, all of your safety features, advanced multi-stage airbags, adaptive cruise control with stop, pedestrian and cyclist emergency braking, full speed forward collision warning plus, park view, rear backup camera, park sense, front and rear park assist. It's got tons and tons and tons of features on it for safety, which is pretty much par for the course. This is what you're really seeing in a lot of vehicles. You have 8-way power adjustable seats. They're both heated and ventilated up front, but the back seats are heated only. And then finally, we're going over the Longhorn Level 1 equipment group, which is almost a $5,000 add-on. And this includes traffic sign recognition, so it can basically tell you what the speed limit is based on the traffic sign, or maybe a few other things as well. It has drowsy driver detection, active lane management system, anti-spin differential rear axle, center stop lamp with cargo view camera, power deployable running boards, adaptive steering system, surround view camera system, trailer tire pressure monitoring system, as well as spray and bed liner by Mopar, and a trailer reverse guidance system, and that's this thing right here. But as you can see, all of your controls are soft buttons now. So I imagine if you get one of these with upfitter switches, your upfitter switches would be right here. That's my theory. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe they'll still put them down here. I just don't know. Your gain control for your trailer brake is right here, and then again, you turn this on, it lets you back up your trailer, steer it, and then you can push this button to kind of center the whole thing out. But overall, it's a beautiful, beautiful truck with a beautiful interior. What are your thoughts? Drop a comment below. I love the fact that they have the camera mirror up here as well. And again, this is that camera pointing right off of the back, which gives you a much better visibility than some cameras which kind of point down and they have to skew the angle. This does have a sunroof in it, but it's a standard sunroof, not a panoramic dual pane sunroof, but I don't mind. I don't even really care for sunroofs, to be honest with you. All your controls here, your SOS button plus your home link controls are up here. You can drop the tailgate down, and then all your lighting controls as well. But yeah, again, very cool truck, beautiful interior, a lot of stuff going on in here. I would love to know what your opinion is of this truck, and if you think it's worth slightly over $100,000. Now that's of course before discounts, incentives, and all the other stuff that they're going to try to do to get you into this truck. I imagine you'll probably pay a bit less, but I would love to know your feedback on this. Is this something that is in your budget range? Are you considering a truck like this? And at $100,000 for luxury pickup trucks, are these trucks getting way too expensive, or are people still finding a way to buy them? Anyways, guys, please drop a comment below. I would love to know your thoughts. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.